World of Warcraft Legion has launched, and yet Rob and Totem both managed to finish a game. We re-review South Park: The Stick of Truth, talk about Last of Us Remastered. Pete plays some Shovel Knight and Neo, and we discuss adding more categories to the pile. All this and more on episode 12 of
The Pile of Shame.
Geeks of all kinds, we know that struggle, that overwhelming pile of content to still finish. Conquer the pile, don't quit. Today's September 1st, 2016. My name is Rob, and I am your host for the support group. I go by Chai T out there in the gamer world, and with me tonight to help encourage you to keep up that fight against that growing pile are my co-hosts. Going first to Pete. How you doing, sir?
I'm very tired, and I'm disappointed in myself because I didn't beat any games, but aside from that,
Shame.
great, thanks.
We'll start off with a good old shame bell. All right. And Totem, throwing down the shame. How you doing, man? Welcome back.
I too am exhausted. I'm working a lot of overtime this week, and I'm on like 2.5 hours of sleep. It's not really because of Legion either. It's just
That's unfortunate.
too much going on.
Man, sounds intense.
Oh, it is.
And yet it's like I've had pretty much the entire week off of work just to play WoW, so I'm well rested. Just had a massage earlier. It's a good time. All right.
Oh, man. Envious.
Well, let's figure out what's keeping the cart from moving here.
Cart is not moving!
Pete, what's keeping you from beating the game? It's been a while, man. Come on.
I know. I'm about 2/3 done with Shovel Knight, so the next podcast, if I don't have one, I'm going to be super disappointed in myself. But yeah, it's just kind of, work stuff. Probably not as bad as Totem there. I've just been gearing up we had to ship something out today, so that's always a joy. Playing games that I can't beat, like arcade stuff, and then I also played a game called Nioh, Nioh, which
Oh, boy.
I don't know if anybody except for me has heard of here.
Tell us about
Nope.
Neo. What's going on with that?
I'll enlighten you. Nioh is Dark Souls made by the Team Ninja people, so the guys who do Ninja Gaiden and some other stuff. And,
So you combine the really difficult and hard to master and hard to defeat Ninja Gaiden, add into the near impossible, very difficult to beat Dark Souls, and you put them together?
You lighten up the Ninja Gaiden a little bit by adding some Dark Souls. I don't know.
Oh,
No, it's
okay.
it's super hard, but it's actually really entertaining, and I wish I could have counted this as something I beat. The open beta is out there right now, but yeah, we got to like I'm not even sure if it's the real boss of the beta, which is the disappointing part, because you get there, everything is harder than the last thing. But yeah, anyway, so I couldn't even beat the beta, and I put probably 4 or 5 hours into that with a friend.
Jeez.
Wow.
But it's brutal. It's very cool though, because it is Dark Souls, but it's got this stance mechanic, so you can your weapon, you have it either kind of middle, high, low, or sheath, and then you've kind of different attributes and special moves depending on where you're at. So it's actually very entertaining in spite of the fact that it's incredibly frustrating. So yeah.
I
Yeah,
see
the
you
Team
get a
Ninja
call
people
on
definitely-
some Aeons or
Yeah,
Celestials or something like that.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure how to do that.
Okay.
Oh,
Probably
wait,
comes later
sorry.
in the game.
So those things I do know about. You do have a spirit that you're sort of combined with, and you can pick different spirits that have different attributes. I think you have the wolf by default in the demo, and it's just makes your sword fiery.
Okay.
I think there are other attributes, but that was the one we stuck with and mostly forgot to use. So that's when you're spending all the rest of your time, after you hit, there's this brief moment where you can mash a button to regain some of the stamina that you just used, and depending on your timing, you get more or less stamina. And yeah, so trying to keep all the mechanics straight in your head while you're getting shanked by some rural Japanese farmer or something is yeah.
And if people are interested in playing this, that and being masochistic, I guess, that is out on PlayStation 4 and beta, right?
Yep. Yeah, you can just snag it from the store, basically. Open beta.
Okay, cool.
Open else to punish you.
Right. Anything else keeping you from the pile, man?
No, I'm sure there's other things I'm forgetting, but I'll let other people talk about their problems.
Oh, let's see. What's keeping me from my pile? So, World of Warcraft, that came out. And so definitely that kept me from playing some other games. Let's see. Then there was work. I had a job interview that went terribly. The good part is that it was supposed to take up all of my Tuesday, but it went so poorly that I got done with in a half an hour. So that was good. I got to come home and play
Lots
Legion.
of time for Legion.
Exactly. So let's see. Warcraft.
You gotta look at the positives.
Right. Yeah. Warcraft kept me from playing other games. School, the classes are getting really stupid now. So yay. And then Warcraft. That kept me from playing too. So.
All right. Just a little bit of Warcraft. Then
Yeah, just a little bit of WoW going
Just
on.
sprinkled in there.
Right. Totem, how about you, sir?
Oh man, it's there's been a lot of stuff lately. We have Hearthstone. The Karazhan Wing 3 opened up for one night in Karazhan, so I played through that. Still working on the heroic fights. This week I've been pretty much just working overtime all week, so exhaustion and not really having time to play Legion, which is also distracting me from the pile.
Oh my goodness.
And typical things. Going to the movies. I saw Don't Breathe on Friday, which was amazing.
So it's really good.
Oh man, it's hard to put it into words because I knew a lot about the movie going in because of the buzz that it got in terms of the festivals and stuff. And they just, with how they shot the trailers, they just focus on the pure intensity of the movie. And it was a very jarring movie experience compared to anything else I've seen in theaters. So it's definitely one you need to see.
All right.
Okay.
It looks really intriguing to me, but yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a home invasion type movie.
Sort of, yeah.
I mean, it pretty much is because they're trying to steal from the guy.
So
Okay.
I'm assuming
Things go awry.
I'm assuming I know the answer to this because you are a movie fanatic. I'm assuming you saw Kubo.
I actually did not.
You haven't
I
seen
wanted
Kubo.
to.
Okay.
There's just been so much stuff out in the past 2 months that there are still movies I haven't seen yet.
Okay. Yeah, it's that one I went to go see with Lady Chai, and that one was really good. Really
that's
good.
That's what I keep hearing. The reviews for it were at 94%. I think the last time I checked, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, same type of animation as Coraline. It was super, super good.
Nice.
Good.
It looks really charming in the trailers, at least.
Yes.
So it's
And especially if you like Japanese culture and mysticism and stuff like that. It's definitely something to go watch, especially in theaters. Good sound design. All right.
And other than that, though, Legion came out on Tuesday. I actually did not get to play at launch at all.
Oh no.
Because I had to be up at 5:30 in the morning, and I didn't want to be up
Right till 2.
when servers went up at 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't happening. And then Season 2 for competitive play in Overwatch just dropped today, so that's going to be eating up a lot of my time.
that did drop today? Oh, crap.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah,
I
lots
have
of
to get
things.
back into that. But Legion, they're pulling me each. Oh.
But it must be good if you're sinking a bunch of time into it. You don't sound disappointed by Legion, so no, shaking your head.
No,
Not at all.
not at all.
The storytelling in this expansion has been superb. I've just been blown away by it. And, after coming back from a 13-month hiatus, it just feels really good to be back. But I'm so drawn into where the story is going and the cinematics and the world. It's just, I don't know, it's me really excited for Warcraft right now.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I still have a few more zones to get through. I'm mostly done with 2 of them. I still got 2 more plus Suramar, so should be. I'm excited to get through the rest of the story. All right, and let's figure out what I prevented myself from playing Legion 4 to beat. I beat another game.
Oh,
Gross.
slow down there, fellow.
That's probably would be the last game I beat for a while now.
Well, aptly titled then.
Right. Well, let's talk about The Last of Us. Have either of you two beat this game yet?
Yes.
Yes.
No,
This was a long. This was like when the game first came out, so
Okay.
it's a while ago.
I'm surprised by myself by having not played and beat this game as soon as it came out. It's made by Naughty Dog, which I love the Uncharted series, and I play them as soon as they come out. And I knew this was made by them, had similar gameplay. So I'm very surprised it took me 2 years or 3 years. I forget when it actually started or when it actually came out. But as with any Naughty Dog game, story is number one driver for playing it, at least for me. And The Last of Us lives up to this by presenting the story of Joel and Ellie in a pretty typical zombie apocalypse. The zombie story is pretty stereotypical. Fungal infection mutates, starts spreading around the world. People get bitten or inhale fungal spores and mutate, turn into zombies. You kill zombies or you turn into them. Yay. So there's spreads, there's quarantine, soldiers, etc. But like The Walking Dead, while the zombies are a menace in the game, the real danger is other survivors in the world that join gangs and kill anyone in their territory. So that's those are kind of the big reasons or big threats in the world. Is zombies are there. Zombies are always a thing, but it's really the people you have to watch out for. And
Right.
gameplay is pretty standard if you played Uncharted. A lot less climbing up stuff, and as you almost always have a second person with you, there's a lot of like boosting people up at ledges, looking for stuff to move into position to climb up, those types of puzzles. And there's also a zombie game-esque ammo management and crafting component to it. So picking up tape, paper, explosive material, you make various crafting items such as nail bombs, Molotovs, med kits. And you can also find toolkits and engineering parts in order to improve your weapons over time. Now, while this could get very tedious, the menu system makes it pretty quick to do, at least on the PS4. So I never really got very annoyed with it. And so Major Juju in the chat room, apparently this is the first time you're visiting our channel. This is what we do. We are the Pile of Shame podcast. So we talk about things on the Pile of Shame, the games that we haven't gotten to after all this time. So yes, we are talking about a 4-year-old game. Mutiny Teddy, yes, I did beat the game, and Totem has beat the game. Pete has not. All right.
Shame.
Right.
Shame.
So here's the combat. This is what some people will disagree with me on. Each of the zombies have very specific weaknesses, but you seldom get one by itself. So you're going to have a few basic zombies, a couple of clickers, which are much tougher and can't be meleeed easily, maybe a badass boss with it. So you're going to be shooting, which attracts attention. You can very easily get overrun. And you do have the option to stealth past a number of these zombie areas, but some you can't. And I don't like the combat. It's frustrating at best, because it's like you'll stealth by, you'll get seen by one thing, everything descends upon you, you shoot, you throw everything in your arsenal at him, and there'll still be one guy open, and you go and you just try to melee him, and he'll just rip your head off. I hate it. It's like, damn it. So I actually ended up just dropping the difficulty down about halfway through the game. I was just like, I want to get through the story. I'm sick of getting stuck at this one spot over and over and over again. So I just drop it down to easy, get through the game, and I enjoyed the story, so I don't feel bad about that. Let's see. So since I play naughty games for the story.
Naughty game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Since I played Naughty Dog games for the story, I was not displeased. I think the ending is bad. And so I think someone else in the chat room said this too. The ending is terrible. Man. But I forgive it. It's I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, but the combat can be frustrating, but still engaging. It's different enough from Uncharted to be its own thing, and was a great game overall. So I do rate this game 5 out of 5 sports. So if this is on your pile, get to it. It was Game of the Year for a reason. What do you
I'm
think, Totem?
curious.
Is that? No, go ahead, Pete.
Oh, well, I'm trying to remember if it was this game or another one. There was some post-apocalyptic thing where you can sort of intimidate other human people, stuff like that. So even if your weapon's not loaded or something, you can point it at them and kind of get them to back off. Does this have any of that, or is it just straight up
No.
like action? Or okay,
No, there's very, very little of that where you can get to choose kind of what you do. So you must be thinking of a different game there.
Yeah, I'll have to remember what the heck that one was. It was like you could, had a lot of that sort of weird interaction stuff with the other survivors. But anyway, you were on to what you were asking.
Right, yeah. So Mutiny Teddy says that's Alive that you're talking about.
Oh, that is it. Okay.
So Totem, do you agree with my assessment, or do you think I'm terrible?
I'd say you were pretty spot on. I liked the idea that different mob types had different weaknesses, but there were just times where you would just get swarmed and there was really nothing you can do. But in terms of like the story, like bar none, out of like all the games that I've played in the past 5 years, Last of Us is probably at the top in terms of storytelling. So
I still think Life is Strange beats it out, but it's
I still got to get through that.
right. So you might have another top.
I'll find out
once you get
soon
done.
enough.
Exactly. Yeah, Last of Us definitely one that you should definitely play. All right, and let's move on to South Park. Go ahead, Totem.
All right, so we have South Park: The Sick Truth. I know this is another old one. This is one I started to play a while ago, but I just never got through. And with the sequel coming out here pretty soon, I figured might as well get through it now. So if you're a fan of South Park, then you'll be happy to know that the creators kept The Sick of Truth as true to the show as possible. All the visuals, audio, and everything in between feel like an episode of the show, which also means if you aren't too familiar with the show, you're going to be... Oh, I lost track of where I am. You're going to be left on a number of references throughout the duration of the game. The game has its own unique story, so players who aren't familiar with the material can still be entertained by it. So the game opens up, and you are playing as this new kid, and you are moving to South Park, Colorado, along with your family. And basically, once you get settled in, your parents tell you to go out and, meet people of the towns to try to make new friends with the kids. Obviously, they don't really know the neighborhood, because otherwise they'd probably tell you to steer clear from some of these people. If you've ever seen South Park, you know why. And basically, as you progress through the game, you'll start to make friends with the townsfolk, which includes all of the main characters from the show. Stan, Kenny, Kyle, Cartman. And you also meet a lot of the support characters as well. And then once you have a certain amount of friends, you begin to unlock special perks that can give you some advantages, whether it's combat or just cosmetic stuff. One of the problems I had with the game was, for an RPG, it was kind of bare-boned. Most of the equipment you get is purely cosmetic. It doesn't really benefit your combat stuff.
All right.
So you're not really changing out your gear for stats. It's just based on how you look.
I don't know. It's like every piece of gear had some sort of an effect, but it didn't affect the combat that much. But each one had a unique thing. Yeah.
I can't remember. So the combat, is it your standard menu-based thing, or is it more like I'm trying to think, Paper Mario?
It's like a Final Fantasy IX
menu-based,
type thing.
Turn-based.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. So when you're combating, you can use items, you can wield melee and range weapons, and you also have abilities that you can activate based on whatever your class is. And you'll learn how to defeat certain enemies based on their position, whether or not they're wearing armor and other variables such as that. But the combat was probably my biggest gripe with this game. It just felt very mundane, and it doesn't really require much thought process, which I found to be the biggest fault. So if you're looking for a game with more detailed RPG elements in it, then you're probably better off just looking elsewhere.
I don't know if that's what brings people to this game, though.
No, you don't come to
it's
this
definitely
game for
not.
the RPG elements, that's for sure.
Nope. So having all of the original voices and visuals that perfectly match the show was really what solidified the game for me. For an RPG, it's a bit on the shorter end. It took me around 11 hours to complete it. I had a few side quests remaining, and I just kind of left it there.
Yeah.
All right. Did they add anything to the story, the side quests, or is it just sort of goofy little one-offs?
Not really.
They're all kind of goofy stuff. It's the adding to the overall plot of the game doesn't do it, but the side quests are still fun, especially if you enjoy the show, which is the main reason why you should be playing the game in the first place.
Yeah, well,
Right.
that's true. Yeah.
Yep. And those of you looking for another epic adventure from Obsidian Entertainment won't find it in The Stick of Truth. But a game of the nature would have overstayed its welcome if it were any longer.
All right.
So overall-
the sweet spot.
The Stick of Truth is not the greatest game that Obsidian could have created, but it is faithful to the South Park universe. Any fan of the show will be delighted to experience the stories, the gags, and how South Park is brought to virtual life. Those who don't watch South Park will be a little disappointed by the combat system and by some of the design choices, but even for them, the game should deliver a good 10 to 15 hours of hilarious, unfiltered comedy.
Unfiltered is the key word right there.
Yes,
It got
definitely
pretty
unfiltered.
graphic at the end there.
Very
Oh,
graphic.
my.
And all in all, I rated it 4 Lemmy Winks out of 5.
All right, pretty solid. Let's see.
Nice.
Mutiny Teddy asks if we've played Brutal Legend.
Oh my gosh, I think that's on my pile somewhere, actually.
I heard really good things about it when it first came out, but that was like 2005, 2006. That was a long time ago. I never played
When
it.
was that? I gotta pull it up.
Right. I think it was like on the Xbox 360 right when it came out. So
Was it? Yeah, I guess it was 360. I was trying to remember.
yeah.
But that's one of those games that's not the way you expect it to be, right? Well, I guess when I saw it, I thought it was going to be a third-person, just sort of hack and slash. But it
slash,
turns into like, kind of a little bit of RTS, I guess. I don't know. You sort of manage groups of units and send them all around. So I don't know.
Sounds
It's-
interesting for a rock game. It's
Yes. Well, and it's from Double Fine, so yeah, it's got
Yeah.
a good sense of humor and everything.
all right. Well, let's figure out what we've added to the pile because we just keep doing that. Maybe we should really, really, really stop. Pete, what did you add?
I can't even achieve here. I didn't buy any games in the last 2 weeks. I don't understand what happened.
I think
There
that's
was some
winning.
sort of mix-up.
Is that winning?
Not-
I think that's winning.
That's not how it works for me.
It's not
It's gotta keep
winning.
Getting... So I didn't beat anything and I didn't buy anything. So, I
the
guess
pile
it's sort of
remains
like
nice and
last-
neutral. Okay.
The last 2 weeks just don't even exist. Yeah, I could have been abducted by aliens for all you know.
Oh,
Yeah, you
jeez.
could have been probed, like you are in South Park.
Right.
There you go. What's the new one called? Hang on.
Oh, South Park
Fractured
Fractured Butthole.
Yes, that's right. Okay.
I'm looking forward to that one coming out too. That should be good. Oh, Totem, what you add to your pile?
Well, obviously, World of Warcraft Legion. That was kind of a big game that came out. I also bought Day of Infamy, which is like a reboot of Day of Defeat, which I played a lot growing up.
Yeah.
And I also picked up Inside for the PS4. So those are my 3 for the week.
Okay. All right. So your
Nice.
pile's slowly getting higher. Let's see. For me, World of Warcraft Legion, of course. I didn't buy any other games. I was tempted by Deus Ex, but I'm holding off. I've heard really, really good things about it, but I figure I'm not going to get around to it anytime soon, so might as well just wait for a good deal on it.
Did you beat the what the heck was? I can never remember. This one's Human Revolution, or was that the last one?
That was the last one. This one
was
is
the last one.
Okay.
Mankind Divided.
Right.
So
that's
yes,
it.
Human
So-
Revolution. Yes, I did beat that one.
Okay. Show off.
Right. That was one of those games I played like immediately because I was a big fan of the first Deus Ex game, the really terrible looking one from back in the 90s.
But it was so cool.
Right. It was awesome. Well, there are some good deals out there, so let's go and pile on the pile.
Preparing to dispense product. Your business is appreciated.
So, for those of you looking to add a ton of games onto your pile, the Humble Indie Bundle is there to assist. There are two bundles going on right now. There's the Capcom bundle for the PS4, and that one's only got a few days left. So if you got a PS4 like Capcom games, get over there and get some cheap ones. The Humble Sierra bundle is the new one that's going on right now. So for $1 or more, you can pick up Space Quest Collection, Phantasmagoria 1 and 2, Police Quest Collection, and Shiftlings, none of which I've heard of.
I don't know what Shiftlings is, but Police
I might
Quest.
pay the $1 just for Phantasmagoria, just to check that one out. That's
Yeah.
more up my alley.
4 Puzzles of Flesh. Okay.
Sounds appealing, right?
If you pay more than the average, which when I took this was $12.72, you can pick up our Arcanum of Steamworks and Magic Obscuria, Time Shift, which I'm pretty sure Pete has really good recommendations of.
I tried to give it away, and they brought it back to me.
Quest for Glory 1 through 5, and Gabriel Knight 1 through 3. And if you pay 15 or more, you can pick up Caesar 3 and 4, Geometry Wars 3, Dimensions Evolved, King's Quest Collection, includes all 7 of the classic games, and Velocity 2X. And if you can do $20 or more, you can unlock all of King's Quest. King's Quest, the something collection. Complete collection.
Goodness.
Yes. So that
All
one's
of it.
all of it. All of the King's Quest. Oh, man. Mutiny Teddy,
crap.
no, we have not talked about Attack on Titan games yet.
I haven't watched any of the videos for it recently. I saw them a while back, but have you guys seen any of that?
I've not, mainly because like I read the manga, I watched the anime, and I saw
Yeah.
the live action movies, which were. Ugh.
Oh, I've not seen those.
Get me started on that, but I just can't imagine it being that good of a game, to be honest.
Yeah, it didn't. I guess when I watched the videos of it, I wasn't taken by it particularly. Maybe it's fun, but it doesn't look particularly fun. So we'll see if there's a demo. I'll
Yeah,
have to go give
Mutiny-
that a try.
Go ahead and play it. Let us know. Send in your review, and you can send those in at show@poshame.com. We'll be happy to go over the review. Let's see. For Xbox Live, you can download the RPG Earthlock Festival of Magic for the Xbox One starting today. And the 2.5D stealth platformer Assassin's Creed Chronicles China from September 16th through October 15th. So they do that split schedule. For the 360 or with backwards compatibility on the Xbox One, you can pick up Forza Horizon, available today through the 15th, and you can play as Faith in the first-person free-running action game Mirror's Edge, available September 16th through the 30th. So you can play the original and pick up guns and shoot people, even though you really shouldn't. But still an excellent game that you should probably pick up and play if you haven't picked that one up on your pile. PlayStation Plus members can download the critically acclaimed adventure Journey for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3, and you can slash your way through demonic hordes in Lords of the Fallen for PlayStation 4. Also coming for the PlayStation 3 are Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands, and Datora, while Badlands will be available for the PlayStation 4, 3, and Vita. Amnesia Memories is also coming for the PS Vita.
What the heck is Datura?
Good question.
No idea.
You can't just say these words and then move on. What? So it's a genus of vespertine flowering plants. That's probably not the one I want.
I don't know. Some of the
There we go.
PS Plus games they give away might just be.
A first-person adventure game, firstly released in 2012. Thanks, Wikipedia. Okay.
So what's next for you guys? Totem, where are you planning on finishing up?
All right, so I started my Doom playthrough, so I gotta finish that. Probably get that done in time for our next recording, and then I'll probably play Inside for PS4 since I picked that one up. And then I don't know what to do that. I'll figure that out when I get there.
All right, Pete.
There's plenty of options, right?
Pete, what are you doing next, man?
I gotta finish Shovel Knight, man. Otherwise, yeah, you guys are gonna like murder me in 2 weeks. No, I'm only about a third of it left, I think. So it should be easy enough.
Yeah.
Easy. It's not easy.
And if you're interested, you can check out whatever Wednesday streams from Pete, where he is. You've done Shovel Knight the last couple of weeks, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And before that was House of the Dead Overkill. Typing at
The Dead Overkill. Yep. So join him on every Wednesday for that. I did Legend of Korra. I streamed a little bit of that, and there's a item you can get in the game, and I notice a lot of games doing this, where it's like you take a penalty to increase your XP, or you take a penalty to increase something else. So it's like half your life, but you'll get double XP. I'm like, okay, cool. This game is pretty darn easy so far, so I'll be fine. And I get most of the way through this level, and then I reach a boss that continues to just destroy me every time. And you can't remove that item except for at the beginning of a level. So
Fantastic.
I would have to remove it, start that whole level over again. I'm like, so I'm going to keep doing that. I like the game so far. So
Are they pretty long levels?
they were pretty lengthy, yeah.
Oh, great.
So I'm going to have some backtracking to do. Ugh.
Bummer.
So far the pile of shame has been entirely about video games. But I started thinking to myself, how many times in our life do we talk to fellow geeks and they mention a board game, video game, or a movie, a book, something like that, and they start talking about it. It's like, oh, sorry, man, I haven't seen that, I haven't read that, I haven't watched that. And they're like, wait, what? I've got to I have to revoke some geek cred here. How many times does that happen? That happens all the time, right?
Yeah, lately it's been Stranger Things, and people not watching it for whatever reason, and I have to smack them.
I
still haven't
started
read
watching
Ready
that
Player
actually.
One.
Yeah.
Season
you
2
haven't
is
read Ready
confirmed
Player
for
One?
2017.
Oh, Pete, you got to read Ready Player One before the movie comes out, man.
I know, before it all gets ruined for me by the movie.
Right. So I'm thinking maybe we should expand the podcast a little bit, and anytime that there's these older things, so let's put like at least a time frame of a year. Right, give us a year to actually watch it, read it, something like that. And then if there's something older than a year that we find that we haven't done, we add it to our pile. And we start working through and discussing. So do you think we should do like spoiler-laden episodes of it and actually give a review of it? But I'm guessing all three of us aren't going to have fully read or watched the thing, right? So that'd probably be bad.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of a challenge.
Well, as I mentioned, like I already have like a document for me in terms of just things that are on Netflix solely for TV and movies that I have to go through. So, I mean, I could just go based on that, but I do watch a lot of Netflix, so I could probably knock out a lot of things in a pretty quick succession.
Nice. Yeah. Binge.
Yeah, we could give the similar type of reviews like we do now. All right, well, I finally finished this series. Does it live up to the geek cred or not? Things like that. So we could.
Do we want to give assignments?
That would be like. That's another
we
thing
can
we
all
could
come
do.
together, like something that we each love that people haven't seen or whatever.
Right. That's another thing we could do is we could say like, okay, well we all should watch this series, and then when we finish with the series, we all get together and talk about it and discuss it with fairly good spoiler warning. Maybe actually make it a separate feed. Who knows? Yeah. So Mutiny Teddy, I don't know if we can live by those rules. He says a year if you don't read it, watch it, or play it, then you should get it spoiled. I'm like, that's most of the games we have on our list. So
rules do not apply here.
Right. Yeah. So I'm like, we could probably do it at like the end of an episode too. So if we finish and we say, all right, go ahead and stop here if you don't want to get spoiled for such and such. Yeah, I think that'd be good. Yeah, let's kind of do that. Let's do an assignment type thing and figure out something that all three of us haven't seen or watched, or that one of us has and says, all right, you guys really need to watch this or play this or read this.
And you can start with Stranger Things.
That
one's not been out a year yet.
It's 8 episodes. You can make it.
I
that
tore
is-
through that in like a day. I was like, I can't stop. Compulsion.
It's something I'm watching with Lady Chai, so she can't do marathon stuff. So we're working on it.
Yeah.
We're an episode
All
in
right.
already, so all right. That will be our first assignment. So when we all are completed with Stranger Things, meaning all of us being me, I guess we'll get together and talk about it at the end of an episode. All right. Well, anything else you guys want to chat about while we're here? No.
Not really.
Okay.
I don't have anything else.
I don't like to talk with you.
Oh.
Although if we're doing board games, I have a lot of tabletop RPG stuff that I gotta go through, or just board games in general.
Yeah, I have a ton of
Whoa.
board games too. So that, yeah, but those could get expensive because those are like 40, 50 bucks each. So
That's why you have Tabletop Simulator.
Oh,
Right.
there you go.
oh man, I need to actually start messing around with that more. I haven't really messed with it too much.
Is it just like anything you want, basically?
Yeah, you can
go with
upload
that?
your own images
Yeah,
and
they
stuff
have a
and make
bunch of
cards. And
things in like the workshop that you just download and you can play.
Holy cow. It's mind blown.
maybe we
right
need
there.
to do that for our Tuesday night group, Pete.
That would be pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I could actually run like a Shadowrun campaign in that thing. That'd be pretty nuts.
Seriously? I gotta look at this.
Yeah, Tabletop Simulator and Steam, go.
All right. Yep. Well, I guess we know one thing that's getting added to the list.
Right. All right. Well, if you'd like to game with us, you can find links to all of our different gaming profiles and more in the show notes of each episode at poshame.com. Let's see. My heroic raid team, Rolling Thunder, is seeking some good players for Fridays 5 to 9 p.m. Pacific on Airy Peak US for WoW Legion raiding. So check us out at convertraid.com/guild. Pete, what you got, man?
Come and visit me every Wednesday at 7 on Pacific time when I'm not doing other stuff, which should be every week from now on, right? It's commitment for whatever Wednesday. So,
All right, Totem.
Alright, well you can come push a payload with me in Season 2 competitive over in Overwatch at Totally Drunk Pound 1819.
All right, and to get in contact with the show, email us at show@poshame.com. Let us know your reviews of interesting games and things you think we should watch if we don't want our geek cred revoked. And Pete, how can everyone best reach us?
you can follow us on Twitter if you dare. Rob is at @the_chai_t. That's THI at the end. Pete is at Fighting Viper. Totem is at Totemly Drunk CTR. And you can follow the show at PO Shame.
All right, conquer that pile and don't quit. We're going to be back in a couple weeks with more content to add to your pile. Until then, don't get smothered by your pile of shame. Good night, everybody.
See you later.
Bye.
I rolled a 20.